LP 30758 on behalf of Mr. Hawk.
All right, Mr. Hupp, your name for the record, please. You're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nelson Hope.
All right, thank you. I think you addressed appropriately. Let's out there we can see. Two things. One, your client is here for sentencing and his plea to an amended charge of disorderly conduct. I don't see Kevin Hamilton or Jeannie Taggett here. However, the court would still proceed in this manner.
That's correct, hon.
And there's also the request was
Right, here's where it gets tricky. Using marijuana while out on bond. Now, even if you've got a medical card, judges often see this as a red flag. Why? Because bond conditions usually require staying clean, period. So ask yourself, medical exceptions outweigh strict court rules, or is that just opening the door for excuses?
to handle this on the record as well regarding use of marijuana while on bond. And counsel as to the sentencing.
As the sense you indicated use of marijuana while on bond. I'm not aware of that.
Well, so Mr. Hoke had submitted proof of a medical marijuana.
Oh, that's correct, sir.
And he had one prior to the agreement that expired, so then he renewed it during the arraignment or during bond phase. And so my thought was that we would chat about that today.
Oh, okay. I saw that in the but I wasn't present. He was right. Fine, Your Honor. We've had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report in this particular matter. Your Honor, this has been an ongoing matter. It's been a lengthy negotiations. This matter actually occurred back in September of 24. I reviewed the video of the arrest. I filed a request for the video of the incident, and we were informed that the actual video of his time at the McDonald's was no longer in existence. We discussed his involvement in this matter and the reasons why this occurred. As to the general background information, as you can see, Mr. Houck has not had an easy life. Some of it is of his own doing. Some of it is because of the early stages that he went through. Ended up with the being excuse me, and I apologize, Your Honor. He's been diagnosed with behavioral problems, clinical depression. He had his parents never married, and he became a ward of the state at age 7. I'm sure the state did as best they could. However, as the court is well aware, that's not the best of all circumstances. He did complete high school. However, he did not graduate, and he received his GED. He also indicated that, and in here, that he has a paralegal certification. Trust me, my discussions with Mr. Houck, he's clearly learned a great deal during his paralegal training. He's indicated his health is decent. He's on parole, had been for approximately 3 years. His parole officer is aware of all that is going on in his life. I did not speak with the parole officer, but I did carry on some other conversations with Mr. Houck regarding that. To be honest with you, Your Honor, and I know he wishes to make a statement, but as you can see from his statement, he was at McDonald's. He was there to pick up some food. That's why he was in the area. Things got out of hand. He felt that he was being mistreated. I guess one thing leads to another. And when you review the body cam, it's clear that when the officers arrive, he is attempting to tell them what really happened in there. Asking, hey, I need my witnesses. And they're just saying, well, no. And they're just responding and making an arrest, whether, rightfully or not, but he was. And you can see that what occurred or what triggered the incident in McDonald's. And I'm not saying he's not taking responsibility, but in his mind at that time, regarding whose fault it was or whose fault it wasn't, and as you can see from his statement, the long story short is I was in the wrong and I have like this. I think, Your Honor, that this all carried over. And so I know that the recommendation is for incarceration. He's had 3 children. He has a 4th on the way. I believe he's pregnant. And I know she's pregnant and she's due in about a month and a half. He is not employed at this point in time, though he is still going out and looking. As again, one of the things on his parole is, as he told me, for the 3.5 years, he hasn't violated his probation officer has not found a reason to violate, which is good. And I'm not suggesting. In fact, he's told me that he does not believe that he'll be violated for parole on this one. However, Your Honor, I'm asking that the court place him on probation. He does have another matter that's in the Lansing Circuit Court. His parole officer is also aware of that. And as he's indicated to me, that's set for hearing, and they're aware of this matter as well. He's on probation out, not approaching, but on bond out there. He's on a tether out there, and he's been in full compliance out there. I don't believe that incarceration at this time would be the appropriate remedy. He is the sole child care support. He's trying to get SSD. That's under appeal. And as he told me, what he's trying to do, Your Honor, is he also is attending mental health treatment, and he's trying to get better. He recognizes his past and recognizes that he cannot continue that way. And he's trying to move on. I don't believe that incarceration at this time would be beneficial to anyone.
Well, what would you suggest, counsel? Because the individual in this matter, well, first of all, the way that I would view the facts of this case is that Mr. Hauk was dissatisfied with the time it took for him to be served or pick up a mobile or whatever it may be. So he decided to then go behind the counter himself to get his food. Then proceeded, when an employee was attempting to prevent him from doing that, proceeded to assault that employee.
We'll think about this for a second. Over a mobile order, this man actually went behind the counter and attacked a worker. That's not just impatience, that's escalation. And the judge is clearly laying the groundwork here with a rap sheet dating back to 2008. This isn't his first outburst. What do you think, Moment? A frustration or a dangerous pattern?
Now, your client also, in addition to his lengthy criminal history going back to 2008, has a number of assaultive crimes. Currently on parole, and he's also out on bond on another matter prior to this matter.
That's in Lansing. Yes, sir.
I understand that.
No, I'm just
But
saying.
for parole to not violate Mr. Howe based upon this incident and this behavior, and for a bond violation to not be occurring, I'm not sure if it's occurring actually. I don't know if that occurred. But also for a parole violation to not occur on the Lansing matter, I have serious concerns for the safety of the public and individuals in general, given Mr. Houck's tendencies for violent behavior. This was over a mobile order for food that Mr. Houck was tasked by his boss to go pick up. This matter was scheduled for jury trial. And quite frankly, the prosecutor at that time thought that it was in the best interest of justice to offer this matter, or this plea in this matter. And quite frankly, I don't see how I have a choice other than jail for Mr. Howe. Because the purpose of probation is to afford somebody an opportunity to learn from their behavior, fashion conditions to help them modify their behavior. I have zero rehabilitative conditions that I could offer to Mr. Howe. Zero. I have zero confidence that any of the conditions that I would typically put forward for somebody in a matter like this, that any of those conditions would be rehabilitative. So, Mr. Howe, I am flabbergasted that you thought that it was your right to go back behind a counter of a place of business that you are not employed. And then when somebody attempts to stop you, you assault them.
Ma'am, can I speak? Are you asking me as far as opening the floor for me to speak?
Sure.
Okay, well, ma'am, I think you're misinformed on the incident that happened there. And that is why, if the video would have came out, it'd have showed the true actions of what happened there, ma'am. And I don't know where you're getting the information of. I was upset about how long it took or anything like that. Ma'am, that is not accurate information at all. There is a police call. There was video evidence. You would have heard all these things if I'd have went to trial, ma'am. But the video was somehow lost. But 14 seconds of another video to show two heads bobbing in was found, which is a mind blowing to me. And I'm flabbergasted that justice isn't thinking, where is the evidence? Why was not evidence preserved at the time of a crime that you said you seen me commit from a video image? So why was it not preserved? That is the flabbergasted part to me, ma'am, that you are condemning me in your head already off of facts that are not true. There's like no factual basis for what you're saying, besides word of mouth. And anyone can write down their version of the story. Like ma'am, and I know, ma'am, there's three versions of every story, but one version doesn't lie, and that's video evidence, right? And somehow somebody scrubbed the video evidence because they didn't want the truth to come out, ma'am. So
Pause this a moment. I'm not going, I don't know, think they scrub that evidence.
the video evidence
Sir, if you'd like to make a statement that the video evidence isn't available or whatnot, you don't know what happened with the video evidence. I don't know what happened with the video evidence. I don't even get the ability to see the video evidence unless it's submitted pursuant to the rules of evidence. And since there were this matter that never was
love to go to trial.
Yes, excuse me. As far as where I'm getting some of that information, some of it's in your own statement, sir, regarding you were ignored for around 5 minutes. So that was in your own written statement.
Ma'am, in my written statement, I confirmed that I stood in line waiting. I stopped a different worker, not even the worker I got into an altercation with, ma'am. I stopped a totally different worker and asked a simple question of, hey, when does these numbers and I didn't say it with aggression. I didn't say it with irritation. I said, hey, can you please tell me when do these numbers transfer over to these numbers so I can get my order and go? I said, I already paid for the food. It's already done. And before he could even answer, the person who I got into the incident with came rushing over, intervened. What's going on here with an attitude? I didn't get an attitude back. I just explained the same thing to him, man. I showed him the picture I had. I showed him the screenshot I had that confirmed the order was already paid for, confirmed everything was done. I didn't even need to even come talk to nobody for real, man. All I had to do was be handed a bag and go, right? So I didn't go in here looking for an incident, ma'am. I did not. This is not like a
I didn't say you were in there. Sir, I didn't say you were in there looking for an incident. That's
No, but
not.
you said I'm in there violent prone, ma'am. You're trying to paint a picture in your words. You're trying to paint a picture of this big violent person. Ma'am, do you know how long it's been since I've been accused of a violent crime besides this one? It's been years, years. I have been working on, yes, I've had a violent past. Yes, I've had a history. Ma'am, I was taken from by the state at the age of 7. I was raised in placement homes and lockup facilities. I was never given a chance at true life. I was given the chance at being a caged animal. So then when you ask me, am I prone to violence? Yes, sometimes I do have what I'm diagnosed with, explosive behavior, ma'am. And that's only when pushed. All my violent record I have is assault and batteries. All those are from being locked up facilities, fights in a lockup facility. None of those are from street altercations, being in the real world altercations, ma'am. So I am not violent prone like you think I am. I was in a cage situation with other violent people, and situations became violent. Not to allow myself to be a punching bag to other people. Yes, and because I did more damage, I got charged, ma'am. I can't help that.
Sir, you're not out of Utah in 2018.
Yeah, 2018. How long ago was that, ma'am? How long ago was that? 18. This is 20. We're going on 26 now, ma'am.
Sir,
Years.
sir,
Years.
it was you at the time of this incident that have been 6 years.
Right.
So
6 years since I had a violent outburst.
excuse me. That was aggravated assault resulting in serious bodily injury. Was that were you in custody during that offense?
Was I in custody during that offense? Ma'am, even on that case, there was never no evidence presented. I pled out because I was in prison for 3.5 years fighting the case already. So it just made more sense to go home, right? Take the deal that was offered to me and go home. And that was one of the cases on the deal. Ma'am, I didn't get caught on this crime at the scene. I got caught on, they reported this crime 2 months after this alleged crime happened. Ma'am, you're speaking on something you do not have the facts to, ma'am. You do not have the facts to these things. So you're still you're trying to justify in your head why you want to give me incarceration, which is not in the interest of justice to incarcerate me, because there are mitigating factors to this case that you are not even taking into consideration, ma'am. You're not. All you have said since you said something to me is about, oh, he's a menace to society. Ma'am, I did not go, this was not random. I was a working father at work who was denied his food because the color of my skin, and it was noted in the phone call that he made to dispatch. If you'd have heard that phone call when he said it's a black and he threatened my life, come quick. And I never once, in fact, threatened this man's life. In fact, ma'am, I asked him multiple times to take his hands off me before I even touched him, ma'am. Before I touched him, I asked him multiple times to take his hands off me. I informed him he was committing assault by putting his hands on me. Unwanted touching of any person is assault. He does not have the right to put his hands on me, no matter what you say, right?
Mr. Howe,
Yes, ma'am.
you entered a plea.
Are you justifying that he has the right to put his hands on me, ma'am?
Sir,
He has that right? Can you clarify this for me so I have it on record, please?
that matter is not before the court. This court is making determination.
What you're damning me about.
Excuse me.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Give me the time you're gonna give me, ma'am, but I cannot sit here and let you lie on me and condemn me in your head as like this violent individual, and I'm not, ma'am. I'm not. I'm trying to change, and you're not even giving me the opportunity.
Stop interrupting this court. Stop interrupting this court. What now? Stop interrupting the court. This court has the information that it was provided after an interview was conducted between one of the probation officers and Mr. Howard. This court also has the criminal history of Mr. Howe and the statements of Mr. Howe, as well as the copies of the police report and statements of individuals at that time. Since there was not a trial in this matter, this court doesn't have the any additional evidence that may or may not have been introduced at trial, such as any body cam, any videos that may or may not exist, or whatnot. And so this court is basing its ruling and its order for sentence on what it's previously stated on the record. Specifically, the information this court has as far as what occurred in this matter, again, based upon the reports and reviewing the statements of both Mr. Houck and the victim in this matter. And I think there was an additional individual that was named as a victim, but then indicated it was because they were trying to separate the individuals. This court's not making a determination as to who put their hands on who first. This court hasn't heard any testimony regarding that. All this court's doing is going based on the plea that was put on the record, the facts that this court has before it. Therefore,
And there it is, 45 days in jail. Not probation, no leniency, straight custody. The judge made it clear she had zero faith in rehabilitation this time around. And here's the bigger takeaway: probation is a privilege, not a guarantee. If the system thinks you've burned through your second chances, they'll make sure the next stop is a jail cell. Would you have gone harsher, more lenient if you were on the bench?
therefore, the court is going to, as I've stated before, the court does not find that there's reasonable grounds to depart on CL 769.5. The court does not find that probation will be beneficial to Mr. Howe. The court also is taking into account that Mr. Howe is currently on parole for a matter, as well as currently out on bond in another matter out of the Lansing Circuit Court, Ingham County Circuit Court. And therefore, the court does not find that there would be any suitable rehabilitative condition for Mr. Howe to participate in probation on. Therefore, this court's going to order 45 days jail, credit for 1 day.
Ma'am, can I ask something real quick, please? As far as the credit timing goes?
You had 1 day credit served for the day you were incarcerated, and I was so sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Can I just ask you something? If not, it's okay. I keep my mouth shut if not, ma'am.
What's your question regarding your credit for time served, sir?
I also did 14 days in jail on this incident too, but that was through my PO.
That was for what?
That was through my PO. I went and turned myself in after this incident and did 14 days also through my.
You say you
Parole officer?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's on that data. So there's that. I'm not affording any credit for time served on this.
Right. If it's due to this matter, that's why I was wondering.
I understand that. That was that was as a parole violation. So the court's not.
So that was a parole violation then?
Yeah, I did get violated for this incident and the other incident. I've done 14 days on both of the incidents I caught. In 3 years, I've only gotten in trouble twice, which is an outstanding job for most people on parole.
Okay.
I wasn't.
So, all right, okay. The court's going to do the 1 day credit for time served, and the court's also going to order restitution if requested. As of this point, it does not seem to have been requested, but there may be a request on
And
that.
then if he has a right to, we can have him.
Of course.
So it's,
All right. As relates to your date to report, sir, the court will give you until Friday to report. So you need to email into Miss Shine, so she gave you the information regarding that report date and how to report and what to
I believe
report.
this was both.
I mean, Miss Shine, did I say short?
No, you did say shines, but I believe this is Mr. Shaw.
Oh, Michelle. Okay, either one in the probation. And then also as it relates to your medical marijuana card, you have something in here from a cannabis doctor. It appears, been asked for a treating physician. And then the question I had was because it says that you didn't have any, you were out of your doctor's care and not to any medication this time. Given that this court's not placing you on probation, the court doesn't find the need to continue to exhaust that issue.
Thank you, Ron.
Is that it?
Just make sure you email Shaw.
Okay.
Good
So
luck.
I'm done now, though.
Yes, you're all set.
Oh, so time on Friday because my fiance doesn't get off work till like 6 on Friday.
Great. Smarter sign, and the other email the shine email at 12:45, so communicate all that was with it. Okay, sir?
Okay, and then so I'm done, right? I'm done and passed down, right?
Never. If you want to heal it, it's simply want to heal.
Well, at this point, I'd just like to say that your fucking court is a joke, and you are carrying your fucking self.
Sir, you are on
Your word, so.
and this is a court of law. That's not
So what do you think? Probation, jail, or something even harsher? Drop your judgment in the comments. And hey, if you love watching justice unfold, make sure to subscribe and join our community. Until then, take care of yourself and each other.